let's go round the room. Who are you? What do you do? You wear yellow shoes, a smile on your face, a skip in your step. You tell us that you used to be an elf in Lapland, and that's pretty cool in you. You're small, but you've got big eyes. You've been through the trying, tested times, always come out the other side. You've got a look on your face that says you fought to be alive, and I hate doing these things because I'm never sure of what to say. I normally stumble and stutter that I am a storyteller. But that's not good enough for you. You want to know where the new ones come from. What do I do? So I say, I spin stories like skimming stones, so smooth they span the globe. You should see the way I can skim a stone. And no, I know this doesn't answer you, but you see, it's the best that I can do. I tell stories. Like the first time I saw someone and knew that they were dead. So the inside of a head painted across a road and told the child next to me, no, that's not fruit. Or like the first time I really lost myself, or the first time I really felt found. Or the first time I saw the scan of my son and didn't expect to be moved, because I didn't know that they moved. Didn't expect him to backflip and somersault. Didn't expect a lump in my throat at this little tumbling Dwyer that until we could think of a better name we just called Bump. Since the day I learned I had a son on the way, I've lived each day as a story I might one day say to him. Try to justify each decision. I've been thinking hard about things I hardly think about. Realised I need to be strong. Need to pick him up and carry him till he can learn to stand on his own, and from now on I'm on call. Always watching for a signal in the sky. You know, maybe we should have called him Gotham, because I am that dad. And I'll be watching over him on the days where I'm the man he needs and deserves, and I'm going to earn my cape. Be there not just for the days that are fun, the days he laughs and walks and runs, but also the days he falls. Pick him up and teach him to stand tall against the trials of this world. Curl him up into my arms to protect him from harm before he's barely opened his eyes, has no idea what's in store. I'll give him everything I can, and then I'll give him more. And I can do the daily chores, feed him and clean him and change him and read him bedtime stories, but I will never need a book. I will spin him stories like skimming stones, so smooth they span the globe. And now I know what I do. I'm a dad. What do you do? You know, the other day I heard this guy say something to his friend that made me feel compelled to interrupt. I said, "Excuse me, did you just say man up?" Because man, up your game. You know, people have been saying the same thing for about 1,000 years, and it might just be a joke amongst your peers and sincere, but you see, I sincerely feel it seals a can of worms that churns your insides, because you fear the jeers of those same peers that should you show you feel something, that makes you not a real man. But back when there was just men and women, before they even had races, face it, men painted patriarchy as a promising pastime. Fast forward down the line, you will find men making mockeries of minorities, masking maliciousness with made-up statistics of benefits that benefit only the man upstairs, so you can stare into my eyes and tell me to man up. But there's nothing about that phrase that says anything about being decent. It is a descent into discrimination derived from the domestication of domination in relationships, relating to delegations based on sex, where men were warriors and women were wives, and we owe our lives to brave men who fight. But it's a different time, and the same kinds of lies telling you who you ought to be leaves no room for a democracy, so let's call a vote. Because we could choose to stop abusing ourselves of the language we use, where being a real man means talking about women like they're meat. We use the phrase, "don't be such a girl," to mean weak, and women use the same language, keeping each other under men's feet. Nothing can change, whilst being feminine is synonymous with being weak. But weak can change what you mean, what words mean, if you and me agree that to speak our mind doesn't take balls, it takes courage, that bravery is not a manly thing, that coping is something we all need to do. I don't do it any better than you just because a coin flip at my birth landed. Man up. Although at times it does feel like I was born with a different currency. And it has taken me with a greater speed to places of fear my own mum could never be, and she could do so many things better than me. She taught me to be everything that you see, and I never want to look down through a glass ceiling at someone I've only ever looked up to. Because my dad gave me his best, but my mum passed every test 1,000 times. She never stopped to rest. She juggled jobs and school drops with empty pockets, still found time to chill with her child. Every time he came home from school with a bruised news just in, my mum did not man up. She mummed up. She's the strongest person that I know, and she still found time to show me how to be a real man. The secret that she taught me is that gender doesn't make a difference. So don't let anyone tell you different. Don't differentiate, because it's only used to hate, to discriminate and dominate, to cover real strength and weaknesses up. So I'm going to ask you again, did you just say man up?